Hey folks, John Gelfie. I'm following up with the Beyond Antisemitic Extreme Hate that's persisted against my family well over 3 years now. I did not have the violations the other day, so I am doing one specifically on the probation violations now being claimed, due to that being the threat to wrongfully incarcerate me. Again, that with the premeditated acts, such as most specifically, the filed and dropped child pornography that I never even had a chance to defend myself, is dropped prior to the hearing, but is in my background, as I talked about the last video. So you see the requirements, failed to produce it, or the violations, valid screen with the dilute, failed to make payments with the attorneys, monthly court fees, and failed to pay my payments on time, all of which are not violations. Another big thing being this order was never even signed by the judge. That's also a question, as I believe the judge is being targeted. But on 5/9, got this regarding the 5/2 screen. Again, all bubbled up Memorial Day with the threats with the IRS. I'm not going to go into the how of the dilute screen, but again, they know I'm not doing drugs or alcohol. I'm being tested rampantly, like I've shown prior in both cases. Shouldn't even be getting tested in my DV class, as I talked about last video. But you can see my responses here as to why these are not violations, which he agreed to, and instead of dropping, added additional violations. First one being the dilute screen, and with it to requirement number 3, it is not a violation. I've made all payments on time as agreed. The monthly fees and surcharges are included, as I'll show, and the $500 attorney fees were an opportunity to reduce the price, not add, with the option if I wanted to do community service, which I chose not to, and I've been making the payments in full. The response, if you'd like to sign, and also note here too that as I brought up the probation transfer denials that I've talked about that forced me back to Colorado, and as I showed were never requested, got the response the meeting would be in person. This has been changed, as they always maximize that against me, and was switched to a new PO who did make the change requiring the in-person that I'll get to. And then regarding finance, that I was referred to with the fees. So still trying to deal with the false probation, blah, blah, blah. Scan down here. You can, again, pause your screen, read these. But you see now with the new PO, I had spoken with her. She agreed to revise the consent order and agreed it had not been violations, but got the same exact order. And can read through this. I was also assigned a new PO in Colorado the very next day after the deadline to sign, as the cases have been deeply colluded, and also brought in the 7th Police Force, as that also switched me into Aurora, which I believe is for the wrongful incarceration. I don't know. I could end up arrested in Georgia. I think the idea is to have the 4 violations there, and just like before, reflect the blame. Who knows with the anti-FBI, anti-Republican comment, as everything's proven to be true. While certainly they're anti-FBI, the anti-Republican could also mean the arrest is going to come from Georgia, but undoubtedly will have me arrested in Colorado, if not, with 4 violations being claimed. Going through that, and as you see here, real quick, required to appear now in person. This was after the deadline for signing, so that's lovely, as the probation transfer violations are once again used against me. And the new PO meeting, the delays here. Wanting to speak with the attorney. As I said, this has been switched to an in-person. And the opportunity to speak to the PO here, not happening until recently. And I still don't have any court document with so I have no approval for the travel either. But as per finance, I was referred to. You can see here, she claimed it was data entry errors, no violations. Of course, the money is an owed to begin with, which you can see here, beginning with the fact on my probation that I was fined with $218 for 6 months, $50 for 6 months. And you also see here too, suspend if I decided to do the community service, which I didn't and was paying in full. But again, total fine surcharges $15.06. If you notice here too, it says right in there for your fines and monthly fees, for your monthly fees. So we know that as well. And again, payment, spend if, and then total fines were $15.06, which if you do the math would have paid in full. It includes the $500 for the attorney fees that they're now doubling. And as you can see with the dates, first payment was due 12/15. I've made all 6 payments on time. Another coordination of events was I just gone down to the $50 payments, now paying $277 a month. And as I showed before, my probation transfers were never even requested, that are now being used against me again. This isn't right, folks, and hope I'll get some help here. Love y'all.